All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about AI agents, and more specifically, how they are becoming this incredible secret weapon for product managers during that all important phase of product discovery.
So just imagine for a second. Instead of drowning in thousands of support tickets, social media comments, and call transcripts, what if you could just find the real signal in all of that noise? What if you knew exactly what your customers were truly trying to tell you? Well, that's the incredible promise we're going to explore. You know, every product manager out there knows this feeling all too well. Product discovery is where amazing products are born, but wow, it can also feel like you're lost in a maze of uncertainty and just so much manual work. Getting it wrong costs a fortune, but getting it right, that can literally define a company's entire future. So let's make sure we're all on the same page here. When we say product discovery, we're talking about that super critical phase that happens before any code gets written. It's all about deeply understanding your customer, making sure the problem is real, and spotting the true opportunity. Bottom line, it's about making sure you're building the right thing. And really, discovery all boils down to three core questions, right? First, what problem are we actually solving? Second, who are we solving it for? And maybe the trickiest of all, is this really worth solving right now? Answering these questions with any real confidence is tough, and that's exactly where AI agents are changing the game. Okay, so I want you to think of an AI agent not as a replacement for you, the product manager, but as your new co-pilot. It's like this tireless assistant that handles all the heavy lifting, the data analysis, the synthesis, which frees you up to focus on the big picture stuff, strategy, insight, and vision. So how exactly does this co-pilot help you out? We're going to break it down into 5 key capabilities, or as I like to call them, 5 superpowers that AI agents bring to the product discovery table. Superpower number 1 is a big one, customer feedback mining. This is all about taking that absolute fire hose of unstructured data from your users and, almost like magic, turning it into a clear stream of actionable insights, and doing it automatically. So here's basically how it works. The agent ingests everything. We're talking support tickets, social media mentions, call notes, you name it. It then uses natural language processing to find all the hidden patterns and themes that keep popping up, so you don't have to spend your weekend reading every single entry yourself. And this is where you see the real power. An agent doesn't just say, hey, customers are unhappy. No way. It tells you exactly why. In one real-world example, an AI agent discovered that a whopping 40% of customers who mentioned churning were all frustrated by a complex setup. See, that's not just data. That's a giant flashing arrow pointing to what you need to fix on your roadmap. Superpower number 2 builds right on top of that, market and competitor analysis. So beyond your own customers, these agents can automate the super tedious but absolutely vital work of keeping an eye on your competitors and the market as a whole. And the key word here is actionable. Instead of you spending days combing through competitor websites, an agent does it for you, continuously. It can compare their feature launches directly against your roadmap and flag a critical gap. It's like having a little bird whisper in your ear, hey, our top 3 competitors just launched this integration, and we don't even have it on our radar. Now, superpower number 3 tackles what can be a huge bottleneck for so many teams, user interview support. It's all about turning hours and hours of qualitative conversations into structured, usable insights. And believe me, this is a massive time saver. Just picture it. While you're in the middle of conducting an interview, an agent can be transcribing it in real time in the background, pulling out key phrases, and even tracking the user's sentiment. And after just a few of these conversations, it can generate a summary report of the top unmet needs you've heard across all of them. Incredible. Our 4th superpower is all about de-risking your ideas early. We're talking about idea validation. Before you commit a ton of expensive engineering resources to something, an AI agent can help you test out your concepts quickly and cheaply. So here's a brilliant, really low-cost way to do this. You've got an idea for a new feature, right? Well, you can have an agent draft several different LinkedIn posts, each testing a different value proposition. Then it can just monitor the engagement, likes, comments, shares, to see which message really resonates with people. You get real data before you build a single thing. And our final superpower? Well, this is the one that really ties it all together, the continuous discovery loop. With AI, discovery stops being this one-off phase or project that you do. Instead, it becomes this automated process that is always running in the background, constantly feeding you fresh insights.
Okay, so we've seen all the individual superpowers. Now let's put it all together. Let's look at what a modern AI-powered discovery workflow actually looks like in practice. The whole process really follows this beautiful 5-step flow. First, you collect all that raw data. Second, the AI clusters it into meaningful themes. Third, you validate those themes with some of those quick experiments we talked about. Fourth, the agent synthesizes all the findings into clear reports. And finally, it helps you communicate those insights to your stakeholders. It really is a complete end-to-end system. Now, it is so easy to get carried away with all this cool stuff. But let's just pump the brakes for a second and have a quick reality check. AI is an incredibly powerful tool, but it is not a silver bullet. It's so important to understand the trade-offs between human insight and automation. So the pros are massive, right? You get speed, you get scale, you get continuous monitoring. But the cons are just as real. There's a genuine risk of over-automating things and losing that subtle context. The most important thing to remember is this: human judgment is still absolutely essential for catching the nuance that an AI will almost certainly miss. And that really leads us to the most essential question for the future. With an AI co-pilot handling all the data crunching, the role of the product manager, the pilot, has to evolve. Your job becomes less about gathering data and so much more about asking the right questions, interpreting the insights, and making those tough strategic calls. Your job isn't going away, it's leveling up.